What's up, my reseller friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And today I have my end of the year video. So I didn't make one last year, but I made one the year before that, and my viewers really liked it. So I thought I'd bring it back and do another one of them this year. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tell you about the things that I learned this year from reselling and some changes that I'm going to be making in 2024, and then also talk a little bit about YouTube and what I have planned for the future. But first, I thought that since I have a lot of new subscribers since the last time I put a video out like this, I thought I would just kind of tell you guys a little bit about who I am and why I think that I'm qualified to teach you a little bit about eBay and just tell you a little bit of my background and my experience. So even though I may come off as being a little bit of a ditzy, pink-haired Disney adult, I really do have a lot of life experience. I am 40 years old. I've been told that I look younger than 40. I've got lots of wrinkles. Trust me, I look 40 if you were to see me in person. I have a bachelor's degree in business. I've been selling on eBay since the early 2000s, I think since 2004. But I haven't really started like seriously selling until I think it was 2017 where I started. And I've been selling full time for a couple of years. But before I was doing all of that, I've had lots of working experience that I feel has really contributed to helping me be a good reseller. So I've had lots of customer service experience. So I've dealt with customers in person, over the phone, through email, any type of way that you can imagine, even sending messages through Yelp. Like, I've dealt with customers on so many different levels. So I've got that experience. I have experience dealing with cash and bookkeeping and ledgers, and I've done purchasing. I've been in charge of shipping accounts. I've dealt with the freight department, I've helped manage very successful small businesses. I've dealt with social media accounts, and I really think it's just all of my experience throughout the years that has really helped me to be a really good reseller. I mean, I should take that back. I don't know if I'm really good. I know there's people out there that are better than I am, but I do think I am a good seller, and I think that I have a lot of information, and I know a lot of things that I can provide you with and help you with. And, you know, like I said, even though I may come off as, you know, a bit childish or whatnot, I really am, at the end of the day, just a mother and a wife, and I love God, and I just always just try my best just to always be a good person and help people and always be honest and do the right thing. So with all that said, I really thank all the people who have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all so much. Everyone who comments, likes my videos, you really do help me out. And I feel like it also has really helped out my eBay business too as well. Some of you come and you purchase things from my store, but even just those of you that just go and look at my store because they want to see how I do it, I mean, that helps me. Any sort of traffic that I'm getting in my store really does make a difference. So I do appreciate you guys all, and having a YouTube channel has been so much fun. I started it back in 2020 during the pandemic because I was just bored, and also I just have a lot of creativity in me that I just need to get out sometimes. And this has been a really, really healthy outlet for me. The only thing is sometimes I do get some mean comments, and I do get people that like to make fun of me and stuff, but it's okay because I make fun of myself. So I struggled with that a bit in the beginning, but I've kind of gotten over it at this point. And if someone just says something mean, I just delete it. So it's not a big deal. But that was something I did have to work through. But for the most part, this has been a really healthy thing in my life, something that I'm really proud of. And at this point, I've gone past the 3,000 subscribers. And even if I don't get any new subscribers moving forward, I don't really care. Honestly, I it's already worth it for me to post for the people that I do have that watch my channel. I don't need to be big, basically, is what I'm saying. I mean, I definitely wouldn't complain if I did, but it's not something that I need. I'm really content and happy with where my channel is right now. So let's talk about eBay. I don't really want to talk too much about Poshmark and Mercari. They're not that important to me. I do sell on those platforms, and I plan on continuing to sell on them moving forward into the new year. But really, they're not that important. eBay is my main jam, so that's really what I'm focused on. And that is what I'm mostly going to be talking about in this video. So I did look up what my top 10 categories and sales were this year, and I thought I would share that with you. And I actually was a little bit surprised by this. So number one for me was dolls. So I sell a lot of Barbies and just like toys and dolls in general, but I know that this is probably just mostly Barbie sales. And I'm pretty sure that the last time I did this, I skipped out on this last year, but the year before, I'm pretty sure dolls were my number one sellers too at the time. So once I saw that the dolls were my number one sellers, I literally went online and ordered a whole bunch of dolls. I was like, I need to get listing more dolls. My inventory is running kind of dry in that department. So I guess dolls are just my thing. And then number two was doll clothes. I sell a lot of doll clothes, and one of the things that I'd like to do a lot too is if I buy a doll at a thrift store or at a yard sale and she's not wearing her original outfit, I'll do two listings. I'll sell the doll as it is, and then I'll sell the outfit. So I sell a lot of doll clothes. Number three was DVDs and Blu-rays. That really shocked me. It didn't seem to me like I sold a lot, but I guess I did. Number four was books, which super surprised me. I did not realize I sold a lot of books. 5 was stuffed animals. 6 was women's tops. 7 was men's t-shirts. 8 was video games. 9 action figures, and 10 purses and handbags. So, I mean, this is a really great information for me to personally have because I know the types of stuff that I list that sell good. So typically, the things that I like to list in my store are toys, collectibles, clothing, and media. Those are the main things I focus on. Now, of course, I will sell anything, especially if I'm at a yard sale. Like, I'm always down to try new things if I can get stuff for cheap. So normally if I sell something that's a little bit out of the ordinary for me, it's probably because I bought it at a yard sale. Especially the rare times that I bring my husband, he has a fresh mind and he'll pick up things that I normally wouldn't think of. So I really like when he goes with me too. So I want to talk about the things that I'm planning on changing next year. So kind of like my eBay resolution. So this was something that I actually have been starting, and it's something that I'm just going to be continuing into the next year. And that is I don't turn on best offer as often as I used to. If anything, I feel like only about 20% of my listings that I post, I start off with best offer. Because for me, I'm more about listing something very competitive for a good price and selling it fast. I don't really like to play the offer game. If I have a price that's a good price and it's a low price and they're not going to get it cheaper anywhere else, I don't want to give them that option to send me an offer. Because what's going to happen is, let's say I have something listed for $20 and I'm the cheapest on eBay, right? And somebody sees that I have that best offer on and they're like, oh, she's taking offers. So then they offer me $10. And then at that point, I'm obviously not going to take the $10. So let's say I counter back like at 18 or something. At this point, the buyer may have already changed their mind on wanting the item because now they've had a little bit of time to think about it. But then not only that, they may be discouraged and think like, oh, she had best offer on. She's only willing to take $2 off. And then they may be not interested in purchasing from me anymore. So that's why it's just like, you know what? This is already my best deal. It's $20. Take it or leave it. It's a great deal. You're not going to find it cheaper anywhere else right now. So that's kind of like my way of thinking. But then I do realize that I'm not going to always be perfect at knowing what something's worth. So what I've been doing is after 3 months, if an item still hasn't sold, I will go and I will turn on the best offer. But that's something I'm really going to be really focusing on moving forward. The only thing that kind of sucks about that is cross-posting. Because when I cross-post onto Mercari and Posh, on both of those platforms, they are able to send offers. You don't have that option to turn it off. So for certain things, I actually do have to raise the prices when I cross-post it because I have to expect that I'm going to be getting offers on them. And right now, I am promoting my store, everything in my store, at 6%. And I'm going to continue to just promote everything at the same price. I used to pick and choose depending on the item, but I felt like it was just like more work. But not only that, like even if I have something, let's say I have something like very rare and not very many other people on eBay have it, I still like to promote it. Let's just say, for example, I'm selling this Alice in Wonderland Minnie Mouse ears. If I'm promoting it, somebody else that's searching for like let's say that they have a Peter Pan mouse ears that they're trying to sell, this may show up like at the bottom of that listing that this is promoted. And then, you know, like it's just getting more eyes on my item. So I just want to promote everything. But this is the thing. I actually think I'm going to drop it from 6% to 5%. I did want to wait until the new year to start that, you know, so I feel like this is going to be a really good time to test out dropping my promoted listings because I'm expecting that sales are going to be slow anyways. So I think this is a good time to do it. And I know it's just 1%, but that 1% absolutely will make a difference. And you never know if this works out. I may actually try dropping it to 4% and seeing what happens until, of course, eBay is going to come along and force me to promote more. They haven't really been raising the price of their store. At least I don't think they've raised the price of the store. But the way that they get the money from us is by forcing us to promote our items at higher prices. So that's how they get you. This is a big one for me that I am going to be focusing in on going into the new year. I haven't been really good with it this year, but I really just want to be more picky on the types of items that I pick up. Like I really want to limit the amount of smalls that I have in my store. And what I mean by smalls, I mean items that are like $10 free shipping or less. There's always going to be exceptions, like Barbie clothes is a huge exception for me. Media is one of those things where I don't mind selling them for a couple bucks, and video games. And of course, I have to be getting my inventory for cheaper. I have to find ways. So those are going to be like the main things that I really need to focus on for next year, because I'm going to be completely honest with you all, is that though I feel like I had like a good year, I was able to pay bills and, you know, do all that stuff, but I did make less money, less profit this year than I did last year. And that is a bit depressing. I should be doing better each year. So I don't know if that's a me problem or if it's due to circumstances that are out of my control, maybe a little bit of both. But at the end of the day, I'm not where I want to be. So I think the first step is realizing that, and then my next step is going to be to try to figure it out, what it is that I'm doing. Maybe I need to start looking at different types of stuff to sell. And I do want to try to watch a few more YouTube videos and do more of my own personal research to try to figure out what those things are that I need to start looking for. Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I probably leave behind. So I just need to learn it, and I need to learn what are the things that people are buying right now, right? Because it changes. And then I actually have a question for you guys. Should I sell on Depop? I kind of feel like I really do want to. I want to try it. And someone may say, oh, you got nothing to lose, just do it. Because I do use Vendoo, so I can cross post, but I do have something to lose, and that's my time. It is going to take time to learn a new platform. And even though I have the cross posting app, it still takes time to cross post things. It is way faster than doing it manually, but it still takes time. And that's another platform that I have to worry about making sure is delisted when it sells. So I don't know. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about are the things that I learned from 2023. But I think I actually already talked about some of that, which was just the whole, my sales have gone down from last year. I do need to make a lot of those changes. So there's all that I already mentioned. But on top of that, I also wanted to say that I did notice, and this is just for me, I'm not saying that this is like a universal thing here. I have noticed a decrease in complaints, negative feedbacks, scams, and returns. Dude, I better knock on some wood every freaking time I talk about something like this, and then something happens, right? Like I put it out there. And of course, a return was open for a pair of Doc Martens. Why do I even talk about this stuff on my channel? I'm done talking about returns. But it actually was a pretty good year. Like my returns numbers were down this year. So there's something in that regards that I'm doing right. So I think that I just have to really continue to post lots of pictures, be extremely honest in my listings, make sure that I'm explaining things in the description. And by the way, guys, if you're not putting anything in your description, I highly advise that you do. Let's just say that only 10% of the people who shop on eBay look at the description. That's 10% of sales you could be losing. Because I'm going to tell you, if for me as a buyer, if a seller has nothing to say about the item, that's a huge red flag for me. Because there's a lot of bad sellers. So if they're not going to say anything, and especially if they don't put anything in the description and they don't offer free returns, that's going to be a hard no for me. I'm going to purchase from somebody else. So you got to be thinking about these things, guys. Yeah, it probably saves you a little bit of time not having to put a description. But I mean, even if you have you copy paste to something, just put something in there. You can save templates. You could just be like, thank you so much for shopping. Message me if you have questions, or just anything. Just put something in that description. But yeah, just having good quality listings is super important. Lots of pictures. If you do all these things and you offer returns, a lot of sellers are scared to offer returns because they're afraid they're going to get more returns. And honestly, that's not the case. As long as you're doing the right things and you're an honest seller, you respond to messages, you're kind to your sellers, you're kind to your buyers, you're willing to work with them, and you've got really good quality listings, you are not going to have very many problems with things. And then if you ship within one business day and you offer those free returns, eBay gives you 10% back on your final value listing or whatever it is. And for me, most of the time, I'm still getting more money at the end of the day because it covers the return plus more. And that may not be the case for everyone, especially if you don't sell a lot of stuff. And I have changed it though on some of my items that weigh over 2 pounds. I have buyer pays return because I don't want to have to pay for that shipping back, because that can be really expensive, especially depending on what state they're in. And then something else that I have learned this year is not to get too upset when I get low offers. It's really hard sometimes, and I'm not always great at it, but I have learned to be better at it. And now I just counter offer. And let's just say that the counter offer isn't working for that buyer, and then they either decline it or they counter offer me another low offer. Who freaking cares? Does it really, really matter? No. If anything, they're helping you because they're giving attention to your item. And that will give you a boost in the algorithm. So it's not hurting you. All you got to do is just hit that decline button if worst case scenario you don't feel like dealing with them. Because one thing I will notice that whenever I do have issues with a sale, it normally is on an item that I accepted an offer on. So when you get those people that are like that, you just got to realize that there is a chance that they could give you a hard time moving forward. So you really have to think, is it worth selling it to this person? So that's all the talk that I have about eBay and reselling. But now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about YouTube, what my channel has in store in the future. Now, I am planning on doing lives moving forward. I just had my first live show about a week and a half ago. And I felt like it went pretty good. It could be better, but it was just my first time. So I have ideas moving forward of certain ways that I could make it better. I did feel a little bit awkward. It actually is really hard doing a live by yourself. There's a little bit of like awkwardness in there, and then you're trying to read what people are saying and remain focused and say all the right things, and it's difficult. I'll just put it there, but I do want to continue to do them, and I think that every time I do a live, I'll get a little bit better. So right now I'm planning on doing a live once a month, but as time goes on, if I feel like I'm getting better and if I feel like you guys like them, then I'll continue to do it more often. I mean, I would be fine doing it once a week if that were the case, but we'll just have to see how it goes. And then another thing that I really want to do, I want to have guests on my channel, but I get too embarrassed to ask people. So if you have a YouTube channel, send me an email, magicalworldofThrifting@gmail.com. Or better yet, the easiest way to reach me is to go on to my Instagram account, which I do have linked in the description, and send me a message through there. That's probably the best way. I'm happy to collab with anyone who wants to collab with me. So I am planning on doing some more of those videos, but moving on till the end of the year, all my videos I'm pretty sure they're just all going to be ship with me videos. I'm not going to do any thrift with me's. I'm not going to have any more of these types of videos or lives or anything. It's just going to be all ship with me for the next couple of weeks. Because those ones are just easier for me to film and they're easier for me to edit and all that. So I have a lot of things going on with like family, and that's my number one focus moving on until the end of the year is absolutely spending time with my family and with my daughter. My daughter turned 13 years old this year, which means that after this Christmas, she only has, 4 more as a child. I'm literally going to cry just saying that. 4 more Christmases as a child. And there is nothing more important to me than my daughter having a beautiful Christmas. So I did feel like I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to some of my favorite YouTube channels. I'm pretty much only mentioning 3 today because in 2023, I was not very actively watching a lot of YouTube channels. And that is mostly because I have a hard time finding other resellers on YouTube that I can relate to. And I think that's really important. If you don't relate to somebody else's like business, then it's just gonna hurt your business. Right? Like if you've got different types of like policies, you sell different types of things, you really don't want to be taking advice from that person because it doesn't really, align with what you're doing. So I think it's really important that you pick and choose who you're watching, who you're getting advice from. And I'm just going to throw this out there, guys. If somebody's going to come out with a YouTube video that's like 500 of the best bolos, and then they've got 50,000 views on that on that video, are those things still bolos? I don't know. I'm really picky with the YouTube channels that I watch. I don't like to watch big channels. What I mean by big channels are channels that have like 20K plus subscribers, right? And I have my reasons for that, and I'm not going to talk about that. But I just personally find more value in some of the smaller YouTube channels, like the ones that have under 20K subscribers. I think that there's more like honesty in those videos. There's more rawness, and I could just relate better. I can relate to them. So if anyone has any channels like that that you feel like would be a good fit for me, who I would enjoy watching, let me know. But anyways, getting back to the 3 channels that I did want to give a shout out to. First is going to be Arena Vision. I've been really like religiously watching all his videos. His channel is really different from mine. But I just find his content to be very relatable and very honest. And he talks about a lot of things that other resellers don't talk about. And a lot of the things he says, it's just like as you listen to him, because he has a lot of videos that are like, you don't really have to watch. You can work and listen to it. And that's something else that I really like in channels. I know mine's not always like that because I do a lot of shit with me. So you got to kind of watch it. But like, I don't feel like I'm good at just free talking. Like this type of video, I don't think I'm that good at it. But I like that style of like, I can put it on in the background and I can work and I can listen to what he's saying, because it's just like, I feel like as I listen, I'm always like, yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, I really appreciate his videos. So there's Arena Vision. I think him and I are probably going to do a video together at some point. We've talked about it. And the other person who I wanted to mention is Hey Fro Sal's. I've been really into his channel a lot too. His channel has been growing very quickly. And he also has the type of style where you could just play it in the background, like you don't have to watch it. And I really like that. And it's the same type of style that I mentioned, where he just talks about things that are things that like you don't always hear from other channels, and things that make you think. Just has good content. So I've mentioned them before, and I'm going to mention them again, because I love them, and it is the Hustle couple. Amy and Dan are so flippin' funny. I learned so much from them. I just feel like if I lived in Texas, that me and my husband would be best friends with Amy and Dan. They sell a lot of everything too, kind of like I do. But they do mostly focus on women's fashion. But the type of fashion is like business or like formal. Like they sell a lot of like the Eileen Fisher and stuff like that. So they're really great. So to conclude this video, I just want to say that at the end of the day, all I really care about is having a successful business that I can make some good profits on. And at the same time, I can make my buyers happy, that I can provide a service that will bring people joy, that I can make good videos that help the reseller community and not hurt it. And yeah, I mean, that's it. And thank you to everybody who has come along with me on this journey this year. I appreciate you all so much. I can't wait to see what 2024 has in store for all of us. Let's just all continue to be great sellers. Take good care of our buyers. Make eBay a great place for people to come shop on, a place where people can feel safe to buy things. And I just hope that everybody has a very blessed holiday season, and that 2024 is just blessed for all of us. And that, you know, when we go through hard times, that we'll stay strong and get through it. And that includes whenever we have slow days, when it seems like everything's against us, we've gotten that return open, we got a negative feedback or whatever it is that discourages us, that we stay encouraged and that we push through and continue to just do everything that we do with love and grace. Because if we can do that, we will be successful. And never ever forget that when you thrift upon a star, all your dreams will come true. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.